Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, come on in and join the family. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and remember the notification bell because that way you'll be reminded every time I upload a video. I hope everyone is well and I hope everyone is staying safe. My name is Jenny and on this channel, I create lovely DIYs using mostly items that I find at the Dollar Tree. I try to keep my DIYs budget friendly but easy to do. If you want to see some of my creations, then keep watching. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I am sharing with you in this video some of my fall DIYs that I have created. I love the fall, so I am excited to be starting with my fall creations. For my first DIY, I'm going to be using some of this greenery that I purchased at Walmart, and I did get a bunch of greenery on clearance for 75 cents. I also will be using that antique wax color chalk paint as well as that cashew color. My Dollar Tree items for this DIY will be some of this jute cord. I will be using some of the Dollar Tree poster letters, as well as I have two of these Easter egg signs that been in my stash for a while, so I'm using them to just get rid of them. I'm trying to get rid of some of my backstash. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut the strings off both of these signs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two signs facing each other but halfway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and this is how I'm going to glue them together. I'm trying to create this shape almost like a pumpkin but not quite. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my hot glue, I'm going to flip them over, and I'm just going to add my glue. And I'm going to just attach it to the other frame just the way I set it up the first time. And I'm just pressing it down to make sure that it's secure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this using that cashew chalk paint. And I did paint both sides because even though that's the back, I still didn't want the glitter to show. And so now what I'm doing is distressing around the sign, as well as I'm going to distress on this sign. And I'm going to distress it heavy in some spots. I want to make this look very weathered. I'm going to put grace on this sign, and I wanted it to look like it's been through something, because I always say no matter where you've been, and no matter who you are, everything you do, you should do it with grace. I like doing things gracefully no matter what the situation is. And so now that I have completed that, I'm going to go in with these poster letters and I'm going to add the word grace. And for your wordings, you can actually use thankful, blessed. There's so many different sayings that you can use for this sign. I just chose grace because I really like it. And I like these Dollar Tree poster letters because you can move them around until you get the desired look. And I always go over mine once I have them placed where I like them. I go over them with some of my Waverly wax seal. You can use Mod Podge for this as well. And so I'm just going to go over to seal my letters and make sure that they stay. And now that I have completed that, I'm just going to go in with some of this jute cord to attach it to the back of this sign, because this is how I'm going to be able to hang this sign. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a loop, and I'm going to glue it right to the back, right in the center of this sign. And I'm going to glue it down a little, and then I'm going to cut off the extra jute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little extra pieces that I cut off, and I'm going to wrap it around the top just to create a little loop, and I'm going to glue that down as well. I'm just adding extra cord down to this sign so it can be secure, so when I hang it, it will hold up better. And I'm just going around it, just creating a loop. And now that I have finished that, I'm going to add my greenery to this sign. And I'm going to go along the side where I connected the two signs together. I'm just pulling my greenery off so I can start attaching it. And I'm just going to go right down the side, right here, attaching the greenery from the stem. I'm just going to add some glue and attach it right up against where the signs connect. And I'm just going to go right under each one until I get to the end. And you can go around this sign with some of the really pretty fall floral that the Dollar Tree has out right now, the pretty oranges and the browns, but I wanted to go in with this greenery. So this is how it turned out, and I'm going to get started on the second DIY for today. I will be using 3 of those Hello Autumn signs. I have some of these foam pieces. I have some moss, and these are the florals that I picked from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm not going to use these greeneries here. I originally was going to use them, but I'm going to go in with something else. I'm also going to use some of this burnt umber paint as well as some of my ivory colored chalk paint for this DIY. I also was going to use this little gather sign that I pulled off another Dollar Tree sign. This is so cute, but I'm going to go in with something else as well. I just wanted to show you guys. So what I'm going to use instead is this home sign from the Dollar Tree. I have some of this greenery that I got from Walmart for 75 cents. I also picked up this stem from the Dollar Tree that had 4 pumpkins that I pulled off, and I'll just be using the pumpkins. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these 3 pieces together. And for this DIY, I will be using my E6000 as well as my hot glue. And so I'm just going to add my glue, and I'm going to glue these signs side by side. So I'm just going to glue 2 signs directly together just like this. And I'm just making sure that everything is tight and glued together. And then what I'm going to do is take these 2 pieces and I'm going to glue them to this last piece. And I'm going to go sideways just like that. I'm going to glue it because I'm trying to create a planter in the back. And so I'm going to go in with my E6000 as well as my hot glue for this part as well. And since there's like not a lot of space because I'm gluing to the edges, I wanted to make sure I had enough E6000 so that this can stay together. And now that everything is secure, I'm going to go in with that burnt umber paint and paint the DIY. And so while that's drying, I'm going to go over these little pumpkins. I didn't want them to be orange with some of my ivory chalk paint, and then after I paint them ivory, I'm going to go in and distress them with that brown paint. And now that my sign is dry, I'm going to go over that with that ivory chalk paint, and I'm going to go very heavy at the top, light at the bottom, but I'm going to keep on blending and blending this paint until it just all blends in and I get the desired look that I'm going for. And so this is the desired look I was going for. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue that home sign straight to the bottom of this sign. And I'm not going to paint that home sign. I actually want to leave it the color that it came. And what I'm doing now is just gluing my little pumpkins right to the top of my sign. I'm going to go on the ends with one pumpkin and in the middle with one. And after I get my pumpkins glued, I'm going to go in and start adding my floral to the back, to my little back planter. And that's how that looks so far. I'm just going to pop in my little foam pieces. I may glue them down later, but right now they kind of fit snug. And I'm going to clip these pieces off of the bunches. And I have my little sunflowers, and I'm just going to clip them off. And I'm going to add my sunflowers in first. And then next I'm going to go in and add my greenery. So cute. And so to hide the little foam pieces in the back of my planter, I'm just going to go in with some of that moss to cover it up, and this DIY will be complete. And this is how it turned out, and I am going to get started on the final DIY for today. I will be using this cute color plate that I found at the Dollar Tree, and the ribbon is brown, and I like the little color at the back of it. I really like that little plate. I have one of these little glass vases. I found this cute little candle with this cork top at the Dollar Tree, and I'm definitely going to keep this cork for a future DIY. I have one of the little leftover pumpkins from the previous DIY. I have one of these little round pieces from the Dollar Tree. I have some rope, as well as this is the smaller rope that the Dollar Tree sell, not the bigger one, the smaller one. And I also have some greenery from my Walmart clearance haul. Love it. Also, I will be using some of that antique wax chalk paint, as well as that cashew color chalk paint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to paint this little round sign using that antique wax color chalk paint. And right when I got started, I realized that I only needed to paint the rim of this piece, but I'm started already, so I'm going to go ahead and just paint the whole piece. And so I'm just going to put this piece to the side for now, and I'm going to take that vase and I'm going to go around it with this rope. Now this is one string of the rope from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap this until it's done. So I think it's going to end up halfway through, and I'm just attaching it to the rim first. I'm making sure that it stays at the bottom before I start wrapping it around the remaining of the vase. I just love candles and candle holders, so I am always creating a candle holder. I love them. And so I'm just going right on top of each row and adding some glue. And I'm going to continue this step until I finish the rope. And so this is how it's looking so far, and I'm just going to continue. And so I just finished the rope, and it went actually a little bit prefer the past half of it, but that's enough for me. I just wanted to leave a little bit so you can see a little bit of the orange candle sticking out. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm taking some of that cashew paint and I'm just going to dab on top of this rope. The only thing I'm trying to do is lighten up the rope. I'm not painting over this heavy. I'm just painting a little bit to kind of give it a gloss look, just more brighter. And now that I have finished that, as you can see, it wasn't heavy, just tried to brighten up the rope a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this little vase to the round wooden piece. This is actually a cute candle holder. If I didn't attach it to the plate, this is really cute standing alone, but I'm going to attach this right down to this plate. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my greenery and I'm going to arrange it all around this candle holder on top of this plate. And once I get it where I want it, I'm going to tack it down with some glue. And I just was waving my hand, but I'm not spazzing out or anything. There was some glue strings hanging and I was trying to fan them off. So I wasn't spazzing. And so once I get this greenery where I want it, I'm just going to tack it down with some of that hot glue. And so this is what it looks like. And now I'm going to take that pumpkin that I had left over from the previous DIY and I'm just going to add some glue and I'm going to tack that down right on top of some of that greenery. And then all I have to do is remove my little top, my little cork top, and add my candle. And this DIY is complete. And this is how the candle holder turned out. So cute. I really like that I painted it just a little bit on top of the rope because it brightened it up just a little, just enough. And I love how this home planter sign turned out. This is so adorable. I'm very happy with that piece, as well as my sign that says Grace. That turned out really nice as well. And I think I'm going to hang this sign on my door. I really like how all these turned out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, in the comment box down below, let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And as always, stay safe and I will see you in the next video.